third and final installment of Favorites of 2017. Welcome to the acting edit!
And action! It's a wrap.
So before we start, I just want to let you know, if you haven't watched any of the movies, please skip. I'm gonna have a timetable of all of them in the description box, and just skip to the next one because there will probably be spoilers. I didn't have any spoilers on the TV shows and documentaries videos, but for this one I find it a little bit impossible not to comment on a movie, explain why I loved it, without revealing a little bit of the history. So if you haven't watched any of these movies that are gonna be in the description box, just skip to the next one, please. I don't want anyone hating on spoilers from me. Anyway, here it goes. So I struggled a lot if I would put this film in the list or not, in light of recent events. I've had a conversation with a friend and we were struggling a lot with what to do with art that is now related to someone. So I am literally briefly just gonna mention it and move on. I'm just gonna say that I don't think everyone else involved in a brilliant movie should be tainted because of one person's choices. So that is why I decided to put this in the list, forgetting about that one person and just focusing on the brilliant performances by everyone else and all of the editing and photography and everything involved, and the soundtrack. Oh Lord, the soundtrack. And the movie I'm talking about is Baby Driver. It was amazing, and yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that, and I'm gonna quickly move on to my other favorites. The first time I went to the movies this year was to see La La Land. I know most guys are gonna go like, oh, La La Land, and it's a musical, and blah, blah, blah. But seriously, dude, just watch it. If you like movies and if you know anything about movie history, you need to watch La La Land. And Damien was just a colossal genius when it came to this movie. I mean, I'm not even going to talk about other movies from him because I'm just talking about the 2017 ones that I watched. And that brings me to La La Land. La La Land! No, seriously. La La Land is an ode to Hollywood history. We all know that Ryan and Emma have amazing chemistry on screen. They have done countless movies together, and La La Land is just another proof of their brilliant work together. And Emma's speech when she finishes her one-woman show, but not even talking about that speech, the whole movie is just, it makes you feel good, it makes you think. If you're not an actor, it makes you relate a little bit more to the struggles that we go through. If you are an artist in any way, you will relate to a little bit of any of those characters. And yes, I do believe that the ending could have been different, and they, yeah, but it was a choice, and I'm not even mad. The movie is just brilliant. Would it deserve an Oscar with the contendants that it had? But I loved it. It was a great start of the year. Great. Another movie that I watched in the beginning of this year was Arrival. Arrival is this sci-fi, it's the cherry on top of the cake of any sci-fi movie I've ever watched. And yeah, in the surface it may appear that it's the story of some aliens coming to Earth and we discovering how to talk to them. But it's so much more than that. Amy Adams was brilliant in it. I would never have thought that Amy Adams would do a character like that, because I don't know, I was used to watching her in other things, but she just blew my mind. The depth of her performance and the depth of all of the choices for that movie are just... And plus, it's one of those that you need to watch after you've watched it. There is no way that you're gonna look at it the same way you looked the first time. She's the specialist in languages, and yes, she discovers how to communicate and learns the language of these aliens that have just invaded Earth but don't seem to be in any way, shape or form violent. And then you see the world reacting, as the world reacts whenever there's something unknown happening. You have some that are appealing to violence, some that are appealing to peace, some that are appealing to conversation, some that are appealing to action. And it's just a beautiful story of the human nature. And I even believe that it is a beautiful story about evolution, because by the time Amy resolves the issue that was in her hands, she is transformed. Arrival is on my top favorite movie list, not only from this year, and that is how good I thought it was. If you haven't watched it, watch it more than once, because you're gonna watch it with different eyes. The next one is a really old one, but again, I just watched it this year. And it was my first Studio Ghibli film, and since then I've watched so many, and all of them could be on the list. But for now, I'm gonna say that one of my favorite movies this year was My Neighbor Totoro. Wow. Again, such a simple story, told in a truthful and beautiful way. And again, it goes to show that characters can be girls, can be feminine, and can be strong and unforgettable. My Neighbor Totoro is a masterpiece. And it was that movie that made me watch about 5 other Studio Ghibli movies since then, and I've watched it in the summer. And I'm just absolutely in love with the style and with the stories, and I watch it in the original Japanese language, with subtitles in English, of course, but I truly believe that there's something about the way a language is spoken in their original way that conveys the story in a little bit of a different way than when it's dubbed. Although dubbing is very, very good nowadays, but there is always that little original magic that you have when you watch in the original language. In My Neighbor Totoro, you follow this little girl and her sister's story and their adventures, so to speak, with their father taking care of them and their mother being a little ill. We never quite understand what is wrong with the mother. We do know that everything ends well, but it is the struggles of the imagination of a child and how they manage to understand the world around them when something is quite not right. And I absolutely adored the movie. Moving on, let's keep the children's theme going on and let's talk about Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast, the original 1995, I think? The original Disney cartoon is one of my favorite Disney movies. And I was really looking forward to this new adaptation with Emma, and it didn't fail to be amazing. Yes, Mrs. Potts could have been a little bit different, and yes, a little bit of the details could have stayed more true to the original, but it managed to resolve a lot of flaws that the storyline in the original one had. Why would she fall in love with someone that was keeping her locked up? And no, it's not Stockholm Syndrome. It's totally different. Stop with the Stockholm Syndrome conversation. It's not that, it's different. And this movie explains it very well. All of the little detail scenes that we didn't have in the original cartoon one, all of the shared passions and conversations and everything, that's what made them fall in love. And some of the new characters are amazing, and kudos for the first openly gay character on Disney. Well, not really like openly, but yes. Speaking of strong female characters, Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman had to make it. A lot depended on Wonder Woman making it big on box office, and thank God it did. It didn't fail in any way. I love how the story is told, how everything is portrayed without a single shred of full body nakedness and in-your-face sex scenes. And I absolutely loved the scene where they actually get together. It was brilliant because it didn't show anything. And that was the beauty of it. You don't need to show a sex scene to show the sex scene. It was brilliant. And she was a strong character, and he was a strong character as well. But everything combined made the movie amazing. All of the special effects were brilliant, and the acting was really good. And yes, it's a superhero movie, but I love superhero movies. And thank God we have a female superhero that we can get behind and just root for. And Gal Gadot is gorgeous. Have you met anyone as beautiful as that woman? She's just perfect. Another thing I loved about the movie was that they didn't make her change her accent. She is herself, and it doesn't take anything away from the story that her accent is not perfect or is not British or American. It is her own accent. Love that. Thank you very much. So now you have an amazing movie, box office records, and female character, success. Foreign accent, success. Love story portrayed but not in your face, success. Everything is amazing from any perspective of that movie. And yes, it is on my top for this year, and it will continue to be for many, many months, years to come, probably. Now, from one strong female character to one kick-ass male character, and I'm talking about John Wick Chapter 2. I know you were probably not expecting this one from me, but I really, really do enjoy John Wick. I loved the first one, and this second one was even better. Oh my god, it was so violent. I know you've heard me talk about how I don't like scary movies, and how I don't particularly enjoy any kind of suspense and all of that. But this has nothing of it. It's just pure violence. I love it. I love the struggle of the character. I love all of the choreography of this. The fight scenes is just spot on. And the technical part of it, of the filming, of the cameramans, of the direction, of all of the lighting and sound that has to be spot on and is spot on. God, I love that movie. Ugh! I can't wait to watch it again. Now, another one from this year. This one is from this year, yes. With strong male characters, yes, and a little bit violent, especially because of the theme, Dunkirk. Christopher Nolan did it again. Wow. I mean, wow. The best thing about the whole movie was the sound. Throughout the whole movie, there is this underlying soundtrack that just makes you feel more and more and more unease. You just want things to finish. You just need to feel comfortable again. And that is brilliant. The way that Christopher Nolan did it again, and he will continue to do it because he's just brilliant. The way that he managed to keep you on your toes, always expecting and not knowing what's coming after, and it's just brilliant. Let me tell you, brilliant. Dunkirk has really close shots and wide angle shots, and the camera is always following something that's moving or following someone that is really standing still, and those contrasts are spectacular. The movie it's one of my favorites of 2017, so yep, I'm good with that. I'm loving Christopher Nolan forever. And last but certainly not least, I'm even getting emotional talking about it. I can't believe I'd never seen it before. It's Philadelphia. I know, I had never seen Philadelphia before. Oh my God, how good is Tom Hanks in that freaking movie? Everything about it, just just gonna compose myself again. I'll be right back. Right, that happened. Philadelphia. I don't even know where to start. I don't even know why I'm not punching myself for wasting so many years not knowing what a masterpiece and what an incredible movie and performance and story that is. The scene where he exits the office and he's just there, knowing he's completely alone and feeling desperate and helpless, and all of those emotions are just in his eyes. Oh God, again. How much can you say when you have no words? It is now on my top favorite films of all times. Whew. Now that was an ending, wasn't it? Okay, I am pulling myself together again. I am bubbly, happy self again. Because this is the end. This is the end of my 2017 favorites, even if they were not released on 2017. I hope you enjoyed the documentaries, the TV shows, and the movies I talked about. And I would really, really, really love it if you would share yours with me as well. You know where you can find me: Twitter, Instagram, here, email. You know all of that, because hopefully you would have watched videos before this one. If not, I'm pretty sure that there is some that you can go and watch now. Come on, it's Christmas time. Speaking of which, have a lovely, lovely Christmas. I hope you enjoy it to the max. Spending it with your family, with your friends, by yourself. Just make the most of it. Choose your favorite things, choose some positivity a day, and yeah. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful Christmas. Merry Christmas! Bye! as a little blooper, and just so you know how glamorous YouTube life is. On top, I'm all put together, and there is earrings and makeup and a pretty dress. That only comes down to my waist, because underneath I have yoga pants, just comfy pants, and some really cozy socks. Welcome to the YouTube glamorous life.